quietly, calmly, closing your eyes if you're comfortable. Concentrating on your breath, breathing in, knowing that you are breathing in love, feeling that breath roll through your body easily, knowing that that air that we breathe is life. That what we breathe in is love, is wisdom, is joy. Knowing that the air that we breathe in is the air that the trees have breathed out. And the air that we breathe out is the air that the trees and the oceans and all of life breathes in. That we are one with all that is. There is no separation. There is no division. So I invite you to remember this through the meditation as you open yourself to that awareness, surrendering to the oneness, surrendering to the peace, surrendering to the love, as the music takes us within. Breathing in, breathing out, knowing love, knowing peace, giving thanks for any insights or increased awareness that may have come during this time of meditation and contemplation. And very gently, with great love, bringing your awareness back into this room, into this space, wiggling your toes, feeling your hands, taking that deep breath in, knowing that love is all there is. Namaste.
Take a look at the person next to you. Say, I recognize the God in you. Now feel the love in the sanctuary. Lift your voice and repeat after me. We come together. We come together. We come together. In the name of love. We come together. We come together. We come together. In the name of love. Take a look at the person next to you. God loves you and I love you too. Now feel the love in the sanctuary. Lift your voice and repeat after me. We come together. We come together. Come together. In the name of love. We come together. Come together. We come together. In the name of love. Every walk of life.
Every walk of life.
Every creed and color.
Every creed and color.
Kinship we unite.
Kinship we unite.
In honor of the God in each other. Take a look at the person next to you.
Take a look at that person next to you.
Say namaste, I bow to you.
Namaste, I bow to you.
Now feel the love in the sanctuary. Lift your voice and repeat after me. We come together. Come together. Come together. In the name of love. We come together. We come together. Come together. In the name of love. We come together. We come together. We come together. In the name of love. We come together. We come together. We come together. opening up in sweet surrender to the luminous love light of the one. I am opening up in sweet surrender to the luminous love light of the one. I am opening. I am opening. I am opening. I am opening. I am opening up in sweet surrender to the luminous love light of the one. I am opening up in sweet surrender to the luminous love light of the one. I am opening. I am opening. I am opening. I am opening. We are opening up in sweet surrender to the luminous love light of the one. We are opening up in sweet surrender to the luminous love light of the one. We are opening. We are opening. We are opening. We are opening. We are opening up in sweet surrender to the luminous love light of the one.
Wow. Good morning. Good morning, everybody. How's everybody doing this morning? Yeah? Some are doing well. All of those who are doing well, just say, I'm doing great. Yes, I'm great. All right, welcome. My name is Reverend Soni, and it is my pleasure to welcome you here to Ahava Center for Spiritual Living. Ahava is the Hebrew word for love, and so we all come together to affirm on Sunday morning that
Love is always
love is the answer. Yes, that beautiful quilt over there by Karen Riggins, always reminding us that it is indeed the answer. So if you're joining us for the very first time online via live stream or whether you're here this morning, but if you're on live stream, please say hello in the chat. Let us know where you're from. And we have practitioner Louise Talon handling that. So let's give Louise some love because she's been here every Sunday doing this job. And we also have Cynthia Cinquina, our newest what? That we celebrated last week, doing our Facebook chat. So she's back there in the back. And we are also a conscious community that comes together to be reminded of the truth of who we are, that we create this loving space so that we can be reminded of who we are, because we are also an open and affirming community. So whoever you are, wherever you are on your path of spiritual discovery, you are absolutely welcome here. And we also know that we are indeed a reflection of one another. Yes? All right, so just take a moment to turn to your neighbor, maybe put your hand over your heart or your hands in namaste position, and say, what?
Thank you for being a
Thank you for being a reflection of me.
Thank you, Lord. Thank you, Lord. Thank you, Sonny, for being
Almost got the train.
We also have a vision and a purpose, and I just realized that next week, Ahava is having their 12th birthday. Holy moly, yes? Oh my gosh, that's so exciting. 12 years, yes! We have a vision, so please either say it with me or repeat after me. We are an inclusive community committed to global transformation through personal evolution. And our purpose is to
wake up, step up, and make a difference.
So if you are a first-time visitor here in our community, welcome. We are so happy that you chose to spend the morning with us, and we want to welcome you, and we also want to give you a little gift. So, and everybody likes gifts, right? I mean, I do. You can give me all you want. I love gifts. So if you're here and you're for the first time and you're willing to either stand up or raise your hand, one of our core council members will come by and give you a little welcome packet. Do we have anybody here for the first time? Yes! All righty. Thank you so much. And thank you for standing up and taking that power of, yes, I'm here. I'm here. Also, I want to mention that we have, if you're new and you would like to get to know people, a beautiful way to do that is to volunteer for one of our SAVA teams. We could not do it without our SAVA teams. Anybody who is a volunteer or has volunteered at Ahava, please raise your hand. Look at that. Look at that. And is it not a great way to get to know people? Yes, and support this community. So please, if you're interested, see one of those individuals who raised their hand and say, I want to be of service and change the world. Okay? We've also had a lot of inquiry. I like to say inquiry because sometimes it doesn't come to you in a really pleasant way. But thank you for getting that. Yeah, it's going wild, isn't it? We've had questions about this memorial garden that we have out here, the Nancy Ruger Memorial Garden. And so I want to tell everybody, Nancy Ruger and Connie were our first two homegrown practitioners here at Ahava. And one of the things that Nancy Ruger really wanted was to have a memorial garden, or she didn't want it to be a memorial garden, she wanted it to be a garden with beautiful flowers to welcome people to Ahava. Nancy got a brain tumor and died. But before she did that, she did a garage sale and raised money so that we could indeed do that. And, you know, the truth is we're just getting around to doing it. So when you see that memorial garden out there, the beautiful flowers, think of Nancy and send her some love. We also have other individuals in our community that have made their transition, such as Mary Elrod, and we have the Mary Elrod SAVA Award, which is because Mary Elrod was always the first one to say, I'll do it, I'll do it. And she was a beautiful heart, one of our core council members. We also have the Helen Flogger Lending Library. So if there's something that you think of in your heart that you want to pass on to Ahava, please just do it. Just take the time and the initiative and really set your intention and do what needs to be done. Okay, so we also have an incredible group of musicians. Yes. Okay. Our music director, Joe Chinquina, Lauren Dechtenberg on keys, John Dittert on drums. Our vocalist today is Margot Buchanan, and Jeff Watts is doing our sound, making us all sound good. And I just want to mention that my co-minister, Reverend Rainbow, will be back next week. She's taking a very needed day off. And so let's all send her some love. Hey, Rainbow, enjoy the service. We love you. We miss you. So let's start the morning by taking a nice deep breath. Yes? And let's open up our hearts and really settle in. And allow the music to take us within as our practitioner today, Connie Moore, does our beautiful opening prayer. In this place, my soul is free from the light within. I see all the joy of the peace. Carry me, carry me, carry me, oh, carry me. In this place, love abides. Holy light, surrender me. All the joy, all the peace. Carry me. Carry me, carry me, oh, carry me.
Anchoring into that divine truth that there is only one life. That life is my life right now. That life is the life of each and every one of us here this morning, and each and every one of us that are not here. It is from that place of truth and knowingness that I bless this thing called Ahava this morning, this celebration service. I bless the words of our beloved minister, Reverend Soni. I bless the healing energy that is bathing our minister, Reverend Rainbow, right now. I bless the hearts and hands of all of the blessed souls who come together to make this thing happen, this beautiful thing happen every Sunday. I simply let it be, and so it is.
All the joy,
all the peace.
carry me, carry me, oh, carry me. Namaste. Lauren, would you be so kind as to do our reading this morning?
Certainly. This is from 7,000 Ways to Listen by Mark Nepo. One reliable way to listen is to keep what is true before us. We can't do this all the time because we're human. So, the practice of being human centers on the courage to return to what is life-giving. Returning to what matters involves setting aside our preconceptions and opinions so we can listen to life directly. When we can meet life with an open heart, receiving becomes indistinguishable from giving, and we become conduits of grace. Living this directly unfolds the work of being, where from time to time our individual breath coincides with the breath of the universe. Listening this sincerely opens us to the spiritual gravity that pulls us to the common center of all living things. It is the pull to center that asks us to lean into all we don't know. Leaning into life is the work of intuition, the chance to discover the learnings we are born with, the way a seed discovers the flower it will become. The work of being is to listen our way into living our inborn nature, a beautiful beginning and end in itself.
living their lives for you on TV. They say they're better than you, and you agree. She says, hold my calls from behind these cold brick walls. Says, come here, boy, there ain't nothing for free. Another doctor's bill, a lawyer's bill, another cute, cheap thrill. You know you love him if you put him in your will, but who will save your soul when it comes to the flowers now? Who will save your soul after all those lies you told? Who will save your soul if you won't save your own? We try to hustle him, try to bustle him, try to cuss him. The cops want to arrest someone down in Orleans Avenue. Another day, another dollar, another war. Another tower went up where the homeless had their homes. So we try to play to different gods as there are flowers, but we call religion our friend. So we're so worried about saving our souls, afraid that God will take his toll, that we forget to begin. Who will save your soul when it comes to the beggars now? Who will save your soul after all those lies you told, boy? Who will save your soul if you won't save your own? Stalking their kill. You got Social Security, but it won't pay your bills. There are addictions to feed and mouths to pay, so you bargain with the devil, but you're okay for today. So you say you love them, you take their money and run, and say it's been swell, sweetheart, it's just one of those things, those flings, those strings you gotta cut. So you get out on the street, girl, so go bust your butt. But who will save your soul when it comes to the memories? Who will save your soul after all those lies you told? Who will save your Was there enough words in that song for you? Oh, let's all take a nice deep breath together, because here's what I know this morning is something here wants to express itself fully. Dropping into that place, that space where we know that only the one source of all things exists. Dropping into that place knowing that something in each one of us here this morning desires to know love as that fulfillment. Desires to know itself as love, as that recognition of the magnificent life that we all are living in this moment, whether we know it or not. Despite conditions or experiences or what may be happening in our life, we are magnificent because we are the light.
And so we drop into that place, taking a breath in, the breath of the universe, knowing that as we breathe in, it is simply the universe breathing itself as each one of us here this morning. And as we release it back, we are releasing our essence, our vibration, our eternality into the world. Because we've come here this morning to recognize and to embody the totality of spirit. Knowing that right where you are, God is. Right where I am, God is. And that is the fullness that exists. It's not, I want you to remember that you're not just a tiny itty bitty part of God, but you are all that spirit is right here and right now. Spirit living itself as the fullness of all of us. And this is why we come here on Sunday morning, to be reminded of the truth of who we are. And we come here to release anything that would stand in the way of the truth, that would stand in the way of us lighting up the world, that would stand in the way of anything that would stand in the truth, that would interrupt the truth, that would interrupt the service that we are called to give to the world. Are giving back from a place of love. Because you and me, all of us, even if you're online, it doesn't matter because you're still a part of this family. Even if you're here for the very first time or for 12 years. You are here to light up the world regardless of what anybody else tells you. Because we are here to light up humanity. And right now the world needs us. Right now the world needs individuals who can see the truth of one another. We're here to swim in the awareness of the one source of all, to drink from the wellspring of grace, to be grace that goes forward from here into eternality. We're here to recognize and become whole again in that awareness, because we forget we're human beings and we forget the truth of who we are. And we're here to remember that we don't come here to get anything, because everything is already contained in and through and as our very life, as each one of us. Because we're here to download the kingdom of heaven. The kingdom of heaven is not some place that we have to strive to get to. We have to be goody-goody and never tell a lie, because that's where we want to be after we are gone from this planet and we release our bodies. We're here to download the kingdom of heaven right now. Right now, right here, without delay, without denial. And you're here today also because you said yes. You said yes to being here. You said yes to life. You said yes to maybe there's something else that I need to know in my life. Maybe I need to let go of the past, surrender it, and really step into the now. And maybe I need to be here now and open up and be who I am. And here's the thing. If you don't understand a word I'm saying, that's okay, because I'm standing in the gap for you right now. I'm standing in the gap, stepping into that tonality of grace, and I'm passing it forward. I'm giving it away. Because, here's the thing that I learned a long time ago. We're not here to merely show up. We are here to make an entrance. We're here to make an entrance, right? So, here's the thing. This month we've been talking about being pulled by a vision. So Reverend Rainbow was clarifying this idea of vision a couple weeks ago, that it's not the same as visualization. We talk about visualization, visualize what you want. Visualization is a great tool for creating and manifesting, and has its place in our spiritual toolbox, if you will. But vision is that which comes from a direct revelation of spirit. It is a download that I often refer to here. I'm getting a download. It's a download, a direct revelation. It is something greater within that is calling us to emerge from our cocoon, from our past lives, what we've been taught, and blossom into our greatest expression of spirit. And one thing that we know about being pulled by a vision is there's going to be resistance. But one thing I know about a vision is you don't get a vision unless you can complete it. It isn't handed to you. You don't get it unless you can follow through with it. So we ask the question about resistance. Is your commitment to your vision greater than your resistance? We also acknowledged that last week when I sent the charge out to Cynthia as our newest member, our newest graduate of ministerial school, who did not let her resistance, her fear, her lack of confidentiality at times get in the way of her vision of becoming a minister. So this week our topic is free the mind and the rest will follow. Yeah, exactly. So we talk about the mind quite a bit here at Ahava. And whenever I think about the mind, I'm going back to the book that Michael Singer wrote, The Untethered Soul. If you haven't reread that book lately, it's a great book. And I think we did a series on it way over 10 years ago. But it's a great book. And from that book, Michael Singer writes, you have a mental dialogue going on inside your head that never stops. It just keeps going and going and going and going. He also goes on to ask the question, how much of what it says do you think is true? Or how in the world does it decide what to say? And if you're sitting here this morning or watching online saying to yourself, I'm not sure I understand what Reverend Soni's talking about. I don't have a voice inside my head. That's the voice I'm talking about. Right? Or if you're sitting here or watching online and you're hearing in your head, did I turn the coffee off or did I close the garage door or I wonder what such and such is thinking about me right now. Right? That's the voice I'm talking about. And guess what? It never, ever, 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 ever shuts up. It's going on right now. So I want to start by talking about this series I'm watching on Netflix. First 2 seasons are on Netflix. The 3rd season is on Hulu, and it's called Manifest. Anybody here watching Manifest? Oh, look at that. All right. Manifest. And if I were to give you a 1-sentence synopsis of it, I would say it's a mashup with Touched by an Angel or God Friended Me meets Lost. Oh. Yeah, all right. Anybody know Lost, the show Lost? I lived there. You lived there, okay. Or God Friended Me or Touched by an Angel? Yeah, okay. All right. So the plot goes like this. A family is at the airport on their way home from a vacation in Jamaica when they get an opportunity for a $400 credit to take the next flight because of overbooking. So the father, his son, and the father's sister all decide to take the next flight. When they land in New York after a bad storm, it's 5.5 years later. Am I grabbing you yet? Okay. So naturally, this is a shock to all 191 passengers and the families they are reunited with. They return to a home that is much changed from the one they left. Children have grown. Spouses have moved on. Loved ones have passed away. Jobs have been filled and apartments sold. And that's not the only inconvenience our passengers are dealing with. They find that they're not only forced to rebuild their lives and reconnect with people, but that they must also heed these mysterious visions and voices urging them to do things that feel utterly absurd in the moment, but often save lives. They label these voices callings. I'm having a calling. But it's more than that. They also discover that they're all connected in some mysterious way. A connection that goes beyond just sharing the same ill-fated flight, if you will. And I don't want to go into any more detail because I'm in the 3rd season and I don't want to ruin the series for you in case you all want to check it out. I find this show fascinating. Whether intended or not, the spiritual and metaphysical undertones are compelling. Let me break it down. First, everything they knew about themselves is lost. Think about your own self. Think about if you lost your entire past. Everything they knew about themselves is lost. The identity they once had no longer exists. For some of them, the families no longer exist. The job no longer exists. Yes, they have the same names and are in the same bodies, but what they once knew as their life and the very nature of it has been rocked to the core. They have to let go of the past and rediscover themselves. Somewhat like removing the filters of the past that often disguise our true nature. How often do we forget our true nature, by the way? How often do we allow ourselves to identify only with our self-image and lose our inner self in the process? How often do we lose our sense of connection with our soul and with others? When we pass someone on the street who has a sign that says, "I'm homeless, please, can you help?" Are you connected or do you walk by? How often do we see the connection? Do we embody it? And all of this, you see, all of what I'm talking about happens through the mind. The truth is, if you spend any time observing your mental voice, besides the fact that it never ever stops, you will discover, when left to its own, it just friggin' talks about anything. Right? In fact, it will make things up. So think about this. Imagine you're seeing your mind walking around on the street as a physical person. Think about your mind is now a physical person and you're seeing it walking around. You would probably think that person was out of their mind. That they were crazy, right? But the fact is, you are your mind to a certain degree. It is you that's talking. So the key is not to try and shut it up, but to observe it, because it is not all that you are. The invitation is, don't think about it. Just notice it, because it doesn't matter what the voice is saying, it's all the same. It doesn't matter if it's saying nice things or mean things, worldly things or spiritual things. It doesn't matter, because it's still just a voice talking inside your head. And there is nothing more important to true growth than realizing that even if you are the voice of the mind and you are the one who hears it, like I said, it is not who you are in your entirety. The truth is if you observe or watch the voice objectively, you will notice that most of what the voice says is meaningless. The vast majority of our thoughts have far less of an impact on this world than we would like to believe. But at Ahava, Ahava is based on the philosophy that has a basic tenet that says if you change your thinking, you will change your life. So how does that fit with what I'm talking about this morning? Because it is the commotion the mind makes about life that really causes the problems. In a way, you could say it's when we start listening to all that BS. That's when we begin to get into trouble. And I'll take this one step further and say it's when we start believing the chatter as reality. And this is the crossroads that the passengers on Manifest face when they hear the calling. Do I follow the voice or do I ignore it? And for all of us this morning, the question then becomes, how do I know if I'm hearing the voice of intuition or my ego voice? Or the voice that doesn't make any sense at all, that is just going on and on and on. The answer, I think, lies in understanding why it's saying what it says when it says it. Is the voice talking out of fear, resentment, anger, desire? For example, did you ever notice that when you're angry with someone, how the voice will tell them off over and over and over again before you ever see them? Is it just me? Oh, never mind. You see, anger is an emotion that creates energy inside our bodies, right? So this is a way, you see, to release that energy. Because if we can tell them off in our minds, right, maybe we won't be so critical when we see them. It's almost like having a life inside another life. Basically, you're recreating the outside world inside yourself and then living it in your mind. And the reason we do that is sometimes reality is too real for some of us. So we have to temper it in our minds. Michael Singer also writes, your inner growth is completely dependent upon the realization that the only way to find peace and contentment is to stop thinking about yourself. Because the thing is, we think everybody's thinking about us, but they're thinking about themselves too. Right? Everybody's thinking about themselves. They couldn't care unless you're wearing like some crazy looking shoes or something. People need to stop thinking about themselves. Because this is where we find peace and contentment. You're ready to grow when you finally realize that the I, who is always talking inside, will never be content. So we have to come to the realization that the I that's always talking inside our mind is never going to be happy. It always has a problem with something. And the bottom line is, you will never be free of problems until you're free from the part of your mind that has so many problems. Hence, no problem can be solved from the same level of consciousness that created it. You can also think about it this way. Anytime we feel resistance, we're talking about resistance this month. Anytime you feel resistance, anytime things are going wrong, anytime we feel frustration, anytime there is too much effort, anytime we have to work at staying inside our story or holding on to that ego narrative, then we are not reconnecting with our source and the field of pure consciousness. The state of fear, you see, is the state of separation. It is resistance to what is. It is resistance to acceptance. If we don't have resistance, then we are accepting things the way they are. It is what it is. In other words, if you're asking yourself, what should I do about this problem? You have already fallen into believing that there really is a problem outside that must be solved. What you should be asking is, what part of me is being troubled by this? I'm going to break it down again. Instead of trying to solve the problem of being resentful or jealous or angry, ask, what part of me is resentful and jealous? What part of me is being troubled? This is not to say that you are separate from yourself, but it is an opportunity to witness your own life. We often say, I want to be a witness for you. I want to stand in the gap for you when you are feeling disconnected or troubled. This is an opportunity for you to stand in the gap for yourself and witness what your mind is doing. Because to attain inner peace and freedom, you must be able to step outside of yourself, become this witness, and objectively see your problems instead of being lost in them. How many times do we repeat over and over and over and over our mind, over and over and over? It just wants to keep going with this problem. It just wants to keep talking about it. You know, sometimes we'll talk out loud about it, and our friends will say, can you just shut up? Can you just, fix it or something? Right? Because we keep going on and on and on. Just as the passengers are subjected to their callings or their intuition, as it were, they have to step away from who they thought they were and step into the possibility of who they can be by getting into the solution instead of being buried by the problem. There's an example in this show where some of the examples are where they do follow their callings, and there are examples where they don't. And so Deepak Chopra tells us, when I'm talking about intuition, that intuition is not a thought. It is the non-local cosmic field of information that whispers to us in the silence between our thoughts. So if we can observe our minds, let it go. And how do we really connect with that vision that we're talking about? How do we really connect with that source of who we are? And we all know that it's through meditation, it's through observation, it's through contemplation, it's through getting quiet. How many times do we hear this? It's the silence between the thoughts. So here's the thing, this week, I'm going to invite you to be an observer of your mind. Listen to what it's telling you. Listen to what it's saying about you. Because I'll tell you, it can beat the crap out of you if you let it. And here's the thing about that is, if for just 30 seconds, no, just for 10 seconds, if you will stand outside your mind and observe it and come back to the truth, just for 10 seconds, I am the I am. I am the expression of God right here and right now. If we could just go back to that, do you think that the world would change? I do. Does the world need changing? Some of us would say yes. So we've got to stand in the power and the presence of the truth, which is, I am the light and I came here to light up the world. It's not somebody else. It's you and me. So this week I invite yourself to ask the question, who's minding the mind? Right? Are you listening to the silence between the thoughts? Because here's the deal. Free your mind and the rest will follow. Change your thinking. Change your life. Say it with me. Change your thinking. Change your life. Let's go into prayer. Oh, stop it. Here we go. Into that place, that space where I let go of my mind trying to persuade me to do so many things right now. And I just stand in the presence and the power of the truth. And I know right here and right now that that truth is there is only one source. There's only one. There's only one source, one infinite intelligence. One source that is eternal, right here and right now. Creating out of itself only what is like itself, creating these beautiful, beloved souls that are here this morning. And I know this presence, this power, this light as grace. I know it as abundance and prosperity. I know it as joy, as order, love. I know it as all there is. I know it as our minds. I know it as our beingness, as our bodies. I know it as that which is eternal. Living, breathing itself as each and every soul here this morning, naming each soul the beloved. As I know this to be the truth of the one, I know it is the truth of me that I am the I am. And as I know this to be the truth of me, I know it is the truth of each and every person within the sound of my voice and beyond my own vision. And I know this power and presence is right where each soul is. And so it is upon that altar of truth that I simply surrender. I surrender my mind. I surrender my past. I surrender anything that would stand in the way of this prayer today, speaking from that place of power and presence and truth, knowing that it is simply Spirit speaking itself as me. I declare and know that for this community, all is well. All is well. And all is unfolding in that perfection that I call the order of the universe. The power of the universe. And I stand in that order and that power, knowing that everything is unfolding exactly the way it is supposed to unfold, and I don't need anything to tell me that I am right where I'm supposed to be, and this community and each and every person in it is right where they're supposed to be. Standing in the power and the presence of that one, of that truth. So I let go of resistance. I let go of resistance and I free my mind. Standing in that place of truth and knowing it for all. Regardless of what anyone may be experiencing in this moment, I invite us to remember that it is what it is. And I choose to respond from that greater truth. I choose to separate myself from the problem and stand in the truth that I am the solution. I am the solution. What a beautiful thing to know that all is unfolding for the highest good for all. What a beautiful thing to know that I am the light, and I can choose to turn the light on or to leave it off. And so this morning, standing in the gap for all of us, I turn your lights on. I turn it on, knowing that we are here to be the presence of the One. How grateful I am to know this truth. How grateful I am. How grateful I am for this community and all the gifts that each soul brings to share and to spare for all of us. We stand together connected in and through and as the One. How grateful. It is with a grateful heart that I release this prayer into the perfect universal law, knowing that the law always says yes. It always says yes. It always says yes. Standing in the power of yes, the place of grace. Shalom, hamdalela, ashe, namaste. I let this prayer be knowing it is already fulfilled before it ever sang my lips. And so it is. Turn to your neighbor and say the following. I am the light, and I'm going to watch manifest. You know, I also forgot our affirmation this morning. Do y'all want to say it?
Yeah.
Oh, you do?
Yep.
All right, so please repeat after me. I open up
I open up
and surrender
And surrender
to my calling.
to my calling.
Oh, yeah. So this is a time in the morning that we do our conscious giving. Are you guys having fun back there? All right. Straighten up. So I'm going to call oh, look, they're already here, our core council members. Hello. We pass the basket in the room, of course, but we also pass the virtual basket online. You can give by texting to 859-209-6996. You can also go on our website. You can go on PayPal. You can do whatever you want. Just send the money, okay? So please, I invite you to take your gift, your tithe, your offering, and hold it to your heart. Give it your own personal blessing. And we also do this as a community, so please repeat after me. Divine love is me.
Divine love as me.
Blesses and multiplies all that I have.
Blesses and multiplies all that I have.
All that I give.
All that I give.
And all that I receive.
All that I receive.
I joyously contribute to the vision of Ahava,
Joyously contribute to the vision of Ahava.
knowing it returns to me multiplied abundantly.
Knowing it returns to me multiplied abundantly.
And so it is.
Gratitude before me, gratitude behind me, gratitude to the left of me, gratitude to the right of me, gratitude above me, gratitude below me, gratitude within me, gratitude all around me. I'm so grateful.
I'm so grateful.
I'm so grateful.
Grateful.
I'm so grateful.
I'm so grateful.
I'm so grateful.
Grateful.
I'm so grateful.
I'm so grateful.
I'm so grateful.
Grateful.
I'm so grateful.
I'm so grateful.
I'm so grateful.
I picture something, it's beautiful. It's full of life and it's so blue. I see the sunset on the beach, yeah. It makes me feel calm, and when I'm calm, I feel good. When I feel good, I sing. The joy it brings makes me feel good. When I feel good, I sing of the joy it brings. I see birds fly across the sky. Everyone's heart flies together. Food is frying and people smiling like there is no other way to feel good. When I feel good, I sing, and the joy it brings makes me feel good. When I feel good, I sing brings. We've got some life to bring. We've got some joy in this thing. Come on along, you know you really want to feel our song. We've got some life to bring. We've got some joy in this thing. We've got some joy in this thing. Can you feel, can you feel, can you feel, can you feel the joy it brings? If you can feel the joy, then you should let yourself sing. Hey, hey, I love to share my thing. Oh, freedom. Let you feel some freedom in your heartbeat, freedom. Oh, you deserve some freedom. Feel that beauty, freedom. It's all for you, all for you, all for you, all for you, freedom. Some of that, got to get you some of that, got to get you some of that freedom. Ba 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 da ba ba da ba 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 da da ba da 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 ba 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 da ba 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 da ba 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 da ba ba da ba 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 da 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 ba 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 da ba 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 da ba 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 da ba 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 da ba ba. You're a shining star, wonderful, just the way you are. We celebrate your sacred face. We love you just the way you are. We love you just the way you are. Who's going to share their affirmation with us this morning? What? That right there. Here you go.
I inspire people with my kind words and actions.
I inspire other people with my kind words and actions. What else did y'all do today? Look at you. Hi. Hi. What else did y'all do today? Do y'all want to talk about what'd you make? Go ahead.
We made a hand.
Tell them.
We traced and cut out our hands and wrote what we're going to do good this week.
I love that. I love that. So thank you, kids. Thank you, young adults, young light bearers. Thank you so much. Let's give our youth program some love. Yeah. So remember that practitioners are available to pray with you. We have a prayer box out there that you can put your prayer in, and our practitioners will pray on that all week. We also have the lending library, and we also, is the bookstore open today, Anita? Yes, go see Anita. Anita needs friends. Say, Hi, Anita. You are the light. There you go. Bookstore's open. There is coffee and I think iced tea and stuff. Is that correct? Outside. So, put your prayer in the prayer box and go outside and enjoy some community together. It's a beautiful and amazing day. And if you're able to stand and repeat after me, let's do that. Let's do our benediction together. What do you think? Yeah? And how many people are going to watch Manifest this week? Raise your hand. All right. Here we go. Something wonderful is happening to me right now.
Something wonderful is happening to me right now.
It is this thing called life. Life is in my mind. Life is in my body. And life is in my affairs. I accept it. I am it. And I share it just the way it appears and just the way it appears not. Thank you, life.
1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, let me live in a holy, holy way. Oh, let me live in a holy, holy way. Let me live in a holy, holy way. Let me live in a holy, holy way. Oh, let me live in a holy, holy way. Let me live in a holy, holy way. Let me live in a holy, holy way. Let me love in a holy, holy way. Let me love in a holy, holy way. Oh, let me love in a holy, holy way. Let me love in a holy, holy way. Let me love in a holy, holy way. Oh, let me love in a holy, holy way. Let me love in a holy, holy way. Oh, let me love in a holy, holy way. We want to thank everyone for coming out or for watching online. We're doing everything we can to make Ahava a safe place to come on Sunday. So please grab your masks, get in your car, and we'll see you next week. Oh, let me live in a holy, holy way. Let me live in a holy, holy way. I'll wear my mask and I'll stay 6 feet away. Wear my mask and I'll stay 6 feet away. Oh, let me live in a holy, holy way. Let me live in a holy, holy way. Oh, let me love in a holy